So this is my final Pechacucha in Fresno, as of at least right now. So my theme tonight about cutting room floor is I am cutting out of here. And we're going to need a new host for Pechacucha. Like, that's what we need. And so I thought it would be good to give you like a tutorial as to what it takes to be a Pechacucha host. First, you have to understand that it's about 20 slides, 20 seconds per slide. That's the given. But we really want to recruit the next person. Now, you need to know that you have to be somewhat charismatic. You have to be comfortable talking to people. You have to be comfortable with a microphone, know how to use a microphone, all that boring stuff. But more importantly, you have to be somewhat the face of Pechacucha and faceless at the same time, because the true stars of Pechacucha are really on the screen. That's the star. Those are the stars of Pechacucha. Here's the next thing. You have to know how to pronounce the freaking word, which I don't pronounce the right way. I say Pechacucha because it feels good to me. It's Pechacucha. Yes. I'm revealing it right now. For 3 years, I have just said, fuck you, Japanese. All right, the other thing that you have to do when you're hosting Pechacucha, you have to pay attention to what other people are presenting. You have to know, find that little witty quip, the fact that Lane mentioned that the logo looked like a boob. That's funny stuff. That Dan takes roofies to kids' parks. That's good stuff. You have to pay attention, but you can't be too creepy. It's like a fine line between being a comical person, a fun host, and that really creepy guy that only points out that Dan takes roofies to kids' parks. It's like, wow, every joke Travis makes is about pedophilia. So be a different person, right? Find other little angles to take. It's one part improv, too. And I think that's the fun that I have at Pechacucha. This is why I do it. I love just being able to, my favorite thing about comedy is writing jokes. And so I love to think about what's happening in 6 minutes and 40 seconds that a person is up here and what I can say in a nice transition to make the crowd kind of stay in tune and then bring the next person on. So the tools that you need are a pen and something to write on, a notepad or something, because you may not know this, but every time somebody's giving a presentation, I'm scribbling down little notes like, oh, this could be funny. It's probably not funny. But I scribble it down anyway, because you have to come up with a bunch of notes. Buy a book if you don't want to write jokes. This is a good book. Actually, I don't know if this book is really good. The other trick is if you're going to give a Pechacucha, know how to use Google image searches. So I need a book on joke writing. So I put it in because I needed it for this presentation. So you have to know how to do good Google image searches and have no worries about stealing pictures from people. Okay, so a lot of the jokes that I tell during Pechacucha, crickets is the response. So if you are going to host Pechacucha, you have to leave your ego on the cutting room floor and realize that most of the jokes you're going to tell are going to bomb. Exactly. Oh, I love a good class. Okay, so back to who's most important during Pechacucha. Oftentimes we look at the presenters as these faceless people. We really don't know them. In fact, before Pechacucha, you don't really know them. The crowd, you really don't know that much. So you want to spend some time getting to know the crowd. And there's that adage, right? If you're uncomfortable with the crowd, picture them all in their underwear. So give me a moment. You guys look good, by the way. New Year's resolution, sticking to them. I appreciate that. So you have to be comfortable working with the crowd and kind of looking at them, and they're going to make funny faces at you and whatnot. All right, so here's the other thing. You have to know that people giving presentations are not all going to be good. There's only one Floyd Sanchez in the world, people. They can't all make us laugh for reasons we don't understand why, right? So there are presentations that are both good, bad, and ugly, all of those things. When you're the host, you have to treat everybody like they're rock stars. And that's good because we want people to feel good about themselves. And it's scary as fuck to get up here. Even for me, I'm scared. So imagine a person that's not used to it. So as a host, make them feel comfortable. Every presenter is beautiful. It's just like a piece of art, right? Every presenter, every presentation that I've seen in the 13 now that we've done here has been beautiful, and I've learned something by it. Okay, I tried this little design thing. There's faded dots and then one bright dot. So imagine you can see the faded dots. I don't know if you can. So when you're listening to those presentations, 20 slides, 6 minutes and 40 seconds, try to find that one thing that you think that resonates with the audience. And then leave the rest on the cutting room floor. There are presentations. There was a couple of times ago where there are presentations that make you cry, and I love those presentations. The ones that are so dramatic. The ones where Lane says, "Hey, Travis, and during the World Series, I'm going to miss it." Like those things, like they touch my heart. And then there's ones like a dog in a singlet-looking thing, and that's awesome. You have to marry those things together. Here's the most important thing. While you might want to do this sober, I don't advise it. Understand the elements of alcohol, people. Know what to mix and what not to mix. We do this on a Monday. That's very challenging to try to get a little buzz on a Monday. You got to go to work on Tuesday, but try to do it. Okay, as the host of Pecha Kucha, you have to understand this. There is going to be a time that Kyle calls you or texts you and says, "We need one more. We need one more presentation tonight." And you got to pull it out of you got to pull it out. So if you're going to host Pecha Kucha, you have to be comfortable throwing a presentation together at the last minute. Now, here's the coolest thing about Pecha Kucha. You get to draw people down to the Mural District and uptown, northtown, whatever town this is. You get to draw people down to downtown Fresno, right? Down here. That has been the greatest joy. So if you're going to host Pecha Kucha, don't talk to Creative Fresno and Kyle and say, "I think we should do it at the former BB's." You don't want to take it that direction, right? Keep it down here, which brings me to Creative Fresno. These guys rock. Now, I made a little, if you're my friend on Facebook, I did a little tribute to Creative Fresno today. If you're going to get involved in Pecha Kucha, they will suck you into other things in Creative Fresno. Now, I learned that the hard way. If you want to just host Pecha Kucha, it's okay. But it's very easy to get sucked into other things in Creative Fresno because they do a lot of cool shit. And if you're not members now, go see Hillary. It's $20 a year. It's the best $20 you ever spent. So for the last 3 years of Pecha Kucha and the time in Fresno, thank you.